Welcome to the Weaver Sews. I'm Daryl Lancaster, and this is a Monday Mini. For years, I traveled around the country teaching garment construction classes and multi-day retreats. More often than not, participants managed to get close to the end of a garment. Usually, all that was left was the handwork, usually. We would do a class photo. Lots of basting threads, tailor's tack still showing, lots of pins, and often only one sleeve. I never really got to see the final garment pressed and finished and ready to wear unless they sent me a final photo. Recently, I finished filming a 4-part series on a piecing technique that I've used and loved for years. During that sequence, I showed many examples of works in progress. I thought today I'd show you what everything looks like now that the garment and the tote and the mats are finished. So let's start with the mats. I had 3 of them in various stages for the filming. I have finished all 3, and they really are beautiful together. The mats were built on a base of Peltex 71. From Pellon, a firm, one-sided fusible. The tote bag I created is also built on a base of Peltex 71. I used the same scraps of hand woven that I used on the dress, which I'll show in a minute, but chose a more contrasting binding, this raw silk in a gray mauve color. I lined the bag with the remains of a silk sari I used for lining another garment. Leftover linings are always good for lining bags. Remember that the Peltex is too stiff to seam effectively, so the scraps were fused to the Peltex, extending beyond the Peltex borders all the way around, creating a usable seam allowance. The handles are from a roll of 2-inch or 5-centimeter wide polypropylene webbing I purchased from wawak.com a while back. And finally, the dress. Some of you have asked for the pattern for this summer dress. In one of my videos on how to combine pattern elements, I showed how to combine 2 of my patterns to create this summer shirt. The body of the shirt is my 1000 swing dress, cut to the length of a top, and the armholes and sleeves are traced from my 200 jacket. The video shows how I did this. This dress uses the same combination, the 1000 swing dress with the center front and center back cut on grain, to make it an A-line with the armholes and sleeves from the 200 jacket. I overcut the fusible base from Fusi knit fusible tricot and built the piecing on that base, fusing everything into place. Once all the piecing was finished, fused, and the joints were covered with the bias strips, I recut the garment pieces to the exact dimensions of the pattern, added tailor's tacks, and then constructed the garment as I would any handwoven garment. I used bias cut Nylon Tricot as the seam finish inside. I'm so happy with how this dress came out. It fits me like I want a summer A-line dress to fit, with ease over the hips and a little room to breathe. And it has pockets. I'm happy with the more neutral choice of bamboo color for the bias tubes that covered the butted joints. The grid isn't nearly as graphic as the tote bag. As you can tell, I love this technique, and I have plenty of scraps still in storage from years of creating handwoven garments, just calling to me to create something wonderful. I'm Daryl Lancaster for the Weaver Sews.